Hi guys, it's that time of the year, starting to get ready for the new season here in the southern hemisphere. So I've been fiddling with my old bars and building some new bars, so I thought I'd take you through some of the old bars and then show you what I've got in mind for my brand new bar. So here it is. I'll talk about that in a short while. I'd be interested to know what you think. Here we have a Lacuna bar system. It's a fairly standard setup with a regular size chicken loop, a push away quick release, single front line flag out system, and a swivel at the quick release side. The trim system is a typical frontline trim system above the bar, and it gives you about 25 centimeters of trim. So look at that. That's around about, that's fully powered up, so depowered it'll be about 25 centimeters worth of trim. Now the Lacuna bar system has a high V setup, so there's this little stainless steel ring just to keep the lines together, about a third of the way up from the bar. This here is the liquid force bar. It has a below the bar trim system. This is still one of my favorite trim setups. Single front line flag out system, standard size chicken loop. I've once again removed the chicken dick slash donkey stick, whatever you want to call this thing, and push away safety, which I'm not going to activate now. And the interesting thing about this bar is it actually doesn't have a frontline swivel. Not that I particularly miss it, although it is sometimes handy to have. There you go. This here is my old GK bar. It's been somewhat modified. There is a very short homemade quick release over here. So the push away type. And what this does, it gives you quite a bit more range for your bar. Hence no trim system. It's got a swivel where the front lines attach. Each of these has got their own little stainless steel ring. The nice thing about this is if you want to self land on the left or the right hand side, you just hook your leash into one of these rings and you are done. So when conditions are great and consistent, this is still my go-to bar. So this is now my latest version of my DIY bar. It's based off an old GK bar. It's got two rear line trim systems, which I'll get to in a moment. The two front lines come in directly to these two leader lines. They go through a stainless steel ring, which is effectively my stopper ball, and also keeps the two front lines together so that they pass straight through the bar. Now these rings are big enough for these knots to slide through fairly easily. So if I release one of them, the whole bar obviously will run past these knots and further up the lines. Now those two leader lines are connected to two stainless steel rings hooked into the chicken loop of my old GK quick release. Now I've turned this quick release around, so right now it is a pull to release and not a push. The QR is now connected to a swivel, so I have a stainless steel swivel over here, and that's connected to my harness. So the big benefit of this is, once again, if you're doing self-landing, is to have the front lines easily accessible. You can pick which line you want to work with. That's really the biggest advantage of taking the swivel down from where traditionally you would sit at the where the front lines come in, and bringing all of that down to the quick release. Right, now the rear line trim systems, I've been using this for a while. It's very simple, but it does work. Obviously the only drawback is you're doing one line at a time, so you will have the bar at an angle while one line is longer than the other line. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can do this with one hand while holding the phone. So what you'll do is just basically bring the stainless steel line back, unhook it from the top, and then let it rest again on the second position. That gives about 10 centimeters of trim. If I unhook it from this guy and leave it run through, that gives another 10 centimeters of trim. So now the bar will be like this. Put it back, you just have to pull against the kite, which I'm going to try and do with one hand holding the phone. Alright, hook that over the bar. That's the first position. Put it out again. There's the camera. Hook it into the second position. Right, now we're back to fully powered. Same on this side. It's the poor man's rear trim line. Okay, so big features here is just the inverted quick release with the two front line leader lines coming in straight through the stopper ring. This is adjustable, by the way. There's enough tension on these lines to keep it in place, but you can actually move it up or move it back. Now the idea is that once you then release the QR, which I'll do now, the one line will obviously run through, and the ring and the bar is big enough to let this run all the way through, all the way up the front line. Alright, so that is my new DIY bar. I haven't yet tested it, but I'm looking forward to doing that. Thanks for watching.